Kawai Kawai mga Kawaians! Mitch na po, nagpapakilala para sa ating panibagong podcast na galing sa Pinoy, para sa Pinoy at gawang Pinoy. Pero syempre, welcome po naman lahat ng mga gustong maging Kawaians! So mga Kawaians, special po ang ating guest for today. Isa pong Emirati Filipino. Sa mga hindi po nakakaalam, ang tawag po sa mga lokal dito sa United Arab Emirates ay Emirati. Ang kanya pong father ay Emirati at ang kanyang mother naman ay Filipina. Ikikwento niya po sa atin kung paano po ang buhay Emirati Pinoy. So, nandito po ngayon si Mr. Saeed Al Mehairi. Hello, Mr. Saeed! Welcome to our show.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Mr. Saeed, can you tell us where you were born here in the UAE or in the Philippines? And how was it growing up? And also, how did your parents met?
I was born here in the UAE, Dubai, and I was just growing up like any kid, UAE national kid here in Dubai. I used to go a lot at my cousin's house, play just like any Emirati kid would play in the street with football and with the kids. My mom moved to Dubai in the 80s to work look for a job here. For an opportunity, but she started her first job was in the Dubai duty free, where she met my dad, and I guess the rest was history.
How was it growing up? Have you been to the Philippines? Did you visit Philippines?
Yes, ever since I was a kid, my mom made sure that I was going to Philippines every year. Mm-hmm. So every summer holidays, my mom used to take me back to the Philippines, just so I won't forget my other roots. And to practice speaking Tagalog.
Nagtatagalog po ba si Mr. Saeed?
Nagtatagalog?
Nagtatagalog po si Mr. Saeed. Ayan. Can we talk Tagalog?
Oo naman.
Ayun, okay. So Mr. Saeed, was there any pressure? Like, meron ka ba mga friends din sa Philippines? Did you develop some friendship na Philippines?
Yes. So, siyempre, every year I was going there to my cousins and my aunt's house. At nagkakaibigan ako sa mga neighbors namin. So, every summer I was looking forward to going back there to, of course, meet the family and to play with my friends again. Yeah.
Mr. Saeed, I could see that you're wearing Kandora, which is the national dress of Emiratis. Can you please tell us more about this national dress?
So, basically, the Kandora, I can say the color of the garment originated from the Bedouins long time ago because it's perfect for reflecting the sun rays. Mm-hmm. The Kandora has many types of styles. So, for example, if I look at another Arab person wearing a Kandora, I can know where he's from by the style of his Kandora. So the one I'm wearing right now is mostly worn here in Emirates, so it's the Emirati Kandora. Oh. There is the Omani, there is the Kuwaiti, Bahraini, Saudi also. The ghatra, or another in English you can say shmaq. Mm-hmm. The ghatra was also used by the Bedouins long time ago to cover their faces from the sand.
Ah, yeah.
So they used to travel a lot in the desert, so it was used to wear it.
Oh, kasi marami pong mga alikabok, yes,
Correct.
and sand, yes.
So usually the single, if an Emirati is not married or mm-hmm. he's still young, there's a way of wearing the ghatra, and it's called asama. Asama is without the black part, so they just tie it around their head, and it looks more, young, if I can say.
Ah.
So lastly, is the agal. It's usually black, and it also originated from the Bedouins long time ago. The real purpose of the agal was to tie their camels in the desert, tie the feet of the camels in the desert,
wow,
because they used to travel a lot. But then, they just put it on the head.
Akala ko design lang yan.
Yeah.
So may pala siya, may purpose pala siya.
Long time ago may purpose, yeah.
So kapag single po kayo, wala po kayo nung ano na yan?
Pwede naman ako magtanggal din nito. Pero it doesn't mean na single ka. Pero usually yung mga teenagers, yung mga
young girls.
Okay, let's just say na I wear the agal to work. It's more respectful or respected na you're wearing an agal going to work. That's one way of saying it.
Doon naman po sa mga babae, ano naman po yung kanilang national dress?
So for females or mga babae, they wear the abaya. Usually it's color black, but nowadays you can see that there's a lot of designs. Basically, the females wear the abaya for modesty and for Islam, so they won't reveal their bodies in the public. An abaya can be a price of nowadays from 100 to 2,500 dirhams.
Wow.
Because there's a lot of branded abayas nowadays.
Wow, ayun. So, can you please tell us also, how about the shoes?
The shoes actually...
Or sandals?
Yeah. So, Emirati, long time, or it started that we wear something called na'al. That's the sandals. But nowadays, more men started to wear shoes with the Kandora. Because it's more comfortable and it covers your feet from the dust, from the sand. There isn't no specifics that you have to wear a na'al when wearing a Kandora. So it's fine, you can wear shoes as well.
For the ladies?
For the ladies, the same thing. They can either wear rubber shoes or sandals or high heels, whatever they feel like.
Do Emiratis have to wear the national dress all the time, like the ladies and the gentlemen?
Not really all the time. Of course, you won't go playing sports while wearing a Kandora. It's usually worn when, like for me, I wear it when I go to work because it shows that when I go meet other nationalities, it shows that this person is a UAE national, he's wearing a Kandora. And it's more respected that people see us wearing a Kandora. But for Abaya, females, once they hit teenage age, they should start wearing the abaya because again, it's part of the Islam that they should cover the bodies and the hair. So
So for men, how old or how young does an Emirati
once you
had to wear?
you're an infant, you can wear a Kandora. It's fine.
Really?
Yeah, it doesn't have an age. There's no age.
But for the ladies?
For the ladies, it's like I said again, once they grown. Like in the teenage age, they should start wearing abaya. But nowadays you can see more younger female kids wearing the abaya as well. Yeah.
All right. Growing up in the United Arab Emirates, was there any challenges po na you faced, and then how did you overcome it?
I would say, there were some challenges while growing up. Some of them I would say that being half Emirati and half Filipino, it was kind of a bit difficult being accepted right away because they would see that I look more Filipino than being an Emirati. So my classmates would, tease me even if I made grammatical mistakes in Arabic because Arabic was not my first language. So they would make fun of me. But then, after years of practicing the language, now I make fun of them when they make mistakes.
So matatas na po kayo ngayon magsalita ng
both languages.
Arabic.
Yeah.
We all know that here in the UAE, it's impossible to get the citizenship unless you got it from your father, right? Ano po ba, as an Emirati Pinoy, what were the benefits of having the citizenship here in the UAE?
There are many benefits of having UAE, of being a UAE citizen. That's why we're so thankful for our rulers because they take care of their citizens and even the foreigners here in Dubai a lot.
True.
We don't feel like we're only citizens of the country. We feel like we are their children as well. So I would say some of the benefits are, for example, education. I can let my kids study in public school for free. And
wow.
If they graduate with high grades, they can get a scholarship and study anywhere they would like abroad as well. Another benefit is medical. It's almost free. We barely pay anything, unless the medical treatment is not available in the UAE. The government will still help us get the treatment abroad, outside the country if it's there. So a last benefit that I can think of is the housing. since I'm a citizen, UAE citizen, we get a land in the UAE, but there should have a criteria that you should be married, you should have a certain amount of kids, but we do get a land and a grant as well to build the house.
Nice.
Yeah.
Napaka-supportive talaga ng government dito sa UAE. Even on the residents.
Napaka-grateful talaga po namin dito.
Correct.
Program namin.
Kasi alam nyo Hawaiians, dito po sa UAE, hindi po kayo, kahit dito kayo pinanganak, kahit yung anak ko dito pinanganak, or kahit na sino, na expat, we cannot get the citizenship. We can get the residence visa, but not the citizenship unless otherwise, yun nga, we have a husband na Emirati or father na Emirati. Ayun. Totoo po ba na kapag I'm not sure kung totoo, kapag po Emirati kayo, pwede kayo mag-aral sa ibang bansa na libre or supported by the government?
It depends on your grades, syempre. In high school, hindi porket na you graduated, you want to study abroad. No, you should have, there's a criteria na dapat,
may criteria.
syempre, dapat high grades ka kung saan mo gusto mag-aral. And if they see na may potential ka talaga, kung mataas talaga ang grades mo, wherever you want to study, the government is going to support you.
Mr. Saeed, totoo po ba na kapag graduate mo, say for example, graduate ka ng college, magtatrabaho ka na, gaano kabilis yung pagkakaroon ng trabaho? Kasi sabi nila, nagkakatrabaho agad kapag lokal ka. So, totoo ba yun?
Ay, hindi po totoo yun. Kasi ako, personally, nung nag-graduate ako ng college, I had to wait almost a year and a half to find a job. So, I had to go through a normal interview sa kumpanya and apply to many different companies as well. So, hindi po totoo na pagka-graduate ng high school, ng college, meron ng trabaho agad.
But how was the process po ng pag-a-apply nyo?
Just like any other employees here in Dubai. Yeah, it doesn't mean you're UAE national, makakakuha ka ng trabaho agad. Hindi. Degree is very important nowadays to a lot of companies dito sa UAE. Ina-encourage talaga ng gobyerno na makatapos ng pag-aaral para magtrabaho.
Alright.
Although, for those who were not able to graduate sa college, they have an option to go in the army. So yes, they start in the army sa low rank, syempre, and then they just work their way through up.
Kapag naman, kasi usually sinasabi nila pagka lokal at nagtrabaho, mataas agad ang posisyon. At sinasabi na mataas agad ang sahod. Totoo ba yun?
Hindi po totoo yun. I started I had a foreigner friend. We joined the company together. Our salaries were almost the same. The only difference was dahil UAE national ako, mayroon lang konting difference, pero almost pareho na rin yung sahod namin. So, hindi totoo na porket lokal ka, nakakuha ka ng trabaho sa company, mataas agad ang sahod, hindi. You still have to work for your job if you want to reach at the top.
Question, at curious din po akong malaman, yung parang kompetensya ng trabaho ng mga locals dito, masyado po bang mataas? Like, say for example, marami bang unemployed, employed?
Meron mga unemployed because I hear it from time to time na may mga kaibigan akong mga nakagraduate na who are a lot younger than me na hanggang ngayon hindi pa rin sila nakakuha ng trabaho. Especially ngayon na napakahirap dahil sa pandemic na.
Yeah.
So, meron din mga unemployed Emiratis.
How about sa mga utility bills nyo po? Balita ko kapag mga lokal, hindi ba na kayo nagbabayad ng DEWA?
Hindi.
DEWA, guys, by the way, yun po yung parang Meralco sa atin. Di ba? Yung mga kuryente, ayan. So, yan po. DEWA po yung tawag na dito. May mga discount po ba kayo o libre po ba?
Ay, hindi libre ang DEWA namin. Sana nga libre, pero hindi. It is discounted although for UAE nationals. It's a lot discounted than, foreign, being
Expats.
a foreigner, an expat, yeah.
Yeah. Kapag UAE national ka, mandatory po ata ang pagpasok sa military school?
That's correct. So, recently lang nangyari lang yan. So, siguro, I think 3 or 4 years ago, if I'm not mistaken, sabi ng mga rulers namin sa UAE na once an Emirati male or female reaches a certain age, it is mandatory for them to na mag-join sa military training. So for example, nakagraduate ako ng high school, the duration of my training will only be 1 year. This was the last knowledge na alam ko. Pero it might have changed na.
Yeah.
Pero pag hindi ka nakagraduate ng high school, ang military training mo is 2 years. Pero syempre, may exemptions din yon. May stages. For example, yung may sakit or yung may mga health conditions, disabilities. It's not mandatory for them. They have to do it, but they are in a they just do office work. Hindi na yung field training and so on.
So, kahit pala babae po, kailangan pumasok?
Ay, hindi mandatory ang sa babae.
Alright.
It's voluntary for females.
So, yung duration niya is, kunwari, nakapagtapos ka ng high school.
Yeah.
So,
ang last na knowledge ko is, ang alam ko is around 12 months pag nakatapos ka ng high school.
Alright. Pag hindi, 2 years.
Yeah. And also pag nakagraduate ka na sa military, every couple of months tatawagin ka for refresher. So, wherever, kahit saan kumpanya ka nagtatrabaho, hindi sila makakahindik na sa'yo na, sabihin ko sa company, sorry, tinawag ko ng military, I have to leave. Hindi cannot tell me no, you can. So, mandatory talaga.
Matanong ko din po, dun sa military school, is it only for UAE nationals or may mga iba pong expats like from the GCC na kasali din po dyan?
No. The ones who are training here is for the UAE nationals only.
UAE nationals lang. Alright. Mr. Saeed, napakapalad niyo po dahil dalawa po yung kultura ninyo. Like you have the culture of the Emirati side and the Filipino side. Ano po ba yung pagkakatulad ng kulturang Pilipino at Emirati?
Kung sa similarities, I think una kong may isip is, both cultures na are known for being hospitable. Both cultures respect their elderly. Hindi tulad ng ibang mga bansa na pagtanda ng mga magulang nila, ilalagay na lang nila sa,
home for the aged. Yes.
For us, I think for both Filipinos and Emiratis, we really care a lot about the elders, the parents.
Extended family.
Exactly. Yun, I think that's one of the things.
How about yung paggalang po? Gumagamit po ba kayo ng po, opo?
I wouldn't say na meron specific word about po at opo, pero it's just the way of how we speak to the elders na malalaman mo magalang tong tao.
Paano naman po yung gestures? Kasi sa Filipino culture, andyan po yung pagpamano. How about sa Emiratis?
Sa Emirati, meron din gestures. So, kung sa Pinoy, is pamano sa mga matatanda. Sa mga Emirati naman, hahalikan sa ulo ng, kunwari, tatay ko, hahalikan ko siya sa ulo. Hahalikan ko yung right chest niya.
Nakita ko nga yan. Yung shoulders.
That's really respectful. Or ang right hand niya din. Pero minsan, hindi sila papayag. Usually, pag hindi sila papayag, yung matanda pa ang yayakap sa amin, hindi mapapayag na magpapahalik
Palik sa kamay.
So, but mostly, it's about kissing sa head.
How about naman po since nasabi nyo nga, extended family. Usually sa Pilipinas kasi, di ba sa isang bahay, doon tayo, sama-sama tayo Ganun yung mga Pilipino.
Tama.
Sa Emiratis din po ba ganon?
Very similar. Especially sa mga occasions, sa Eid holidays. We look forward for that. Kasi alam namin na dito yung bahay ng lola namin. Sa Eid, dito tayo lahat magkikita. Wow. And it's a huge family. Kasi alam mo naman mga Emirati, mga aunts ko, they're like nine brothers and sisters, mga aunts ko here in Dubai. So imagine the amount of cousins we have at the same house. So parang Christmas din sa Pinas.
Yes.
Lahat nagkakasalo sa isang bahay. Ganun din sa mga Emirati.
Since nabanggit niyo po na minsan nagkakasalo-salo sa isang bahay, ang narinig ko po, meron pong separate area, receiving area, mga babae at lalaki. Totoo po ba ito?
Totoo yan. So ang tawag dyan ay majlis.
Majlis.
Yes.
Alright.
So ang majlis is mostly mostly known for yun nga, receiving area. Sa mga lalaki, kasi hindi sila pwede makihalo sa mga babae. So, unless, they're in the same family. Pero pag yung mga friends, hindi pwede. Mga lalaki dapat nasa sarili silang majlis. They eat by themselves. And same thing for sa mga babae. We're not allowed to look at, my wife's friends or whatsoever. So,
kung family lang po kayo, pwede.
Family is fine, yeah.
Pero kapag mga friends lang, hindi po
mga
pwede.
friends, hindi.
Alright. Paano po kung meron kayong babaeng kaibigan? So, nandun kayo sa majlis na palalaki, nandun siya sa majlis ng pababae. Paano po kaya yun?
Hindi. Kasi
You often,
It's not,
hindi.
hindi talaga mangyayari.
Hindi talaga?
Oo.
Alright. Mr. Saeed, kunwari bago ako sa UAE, ano po ba yung mga bagay na dapat kong iwasan at mga bagay na dapat kong sundin? Kung ako'y turista dito.
Siyempre, kung turista ka, may mga, yung mga hand gestures na, kunwari middle finger, try natin iwasan yung mga ganyan sa public. Ang mga magsabi ng F word, for example, or any bad words sa taong hindi mo kilala dahil you're getting upset, try natin iwasan yan. Isa pa is yung pananamit. Tama na it's allowed in the UAE to, for females na magsuot ng shorts, pero try din natin respetuhin yung bansa kasi, hindi rin...
Yes, mga Kawaians. Since andito tayo sa bansang hindi naman atin, sundin po natin ang kanilang mga, of course, for modesty na din. Respeto na din sa atin. Follow po natin at tayo na po ang mag-adjust. Yes, tama.
Isa pa pala, yung try din natin iwasan mag-PDA. Kasi hindi yan, pinapayag ng gobyerno, lalo na kung hindi kayo mag-asawa.
Mr. Saeed, since marunong kayo sa dalawang lengguwahe, Emirati, Filipino, pwede niyo po ba kaming turuan kung ano yung mga, kahit 5 basic
Yes, sure.
language lang na makapag-communicate kami dito?
Sure.
Yes.
Let's start with greeting.
Yes.
Sa umaga, for example, good morning is sabah al-khair.
Sabah al-khair.
Sabah al-khair.
Sabah al-khair.
Yan. Yan ang good morning. Tama.
Good
Dapat
morning.
nanggagaling dito sa lalamunan. Sabah al-khair.
Speaking of that po, bakit ganun po ang mga Emirati magsalita? Yung parang dito nila kinukuha yung kanilang salita.
Bakit ganun? Di ka ako sure. Pero tama ka. Most of the words that talaga lumalabas sa lalamunan.
Sabah al-khair.
Sabah al-khair.
Sabah al-khair.
Yan.
Yun.
Lo samaht.
Los simat.
Kung sasabihin mo sa lalaki, lo samaht.
Los simat.
Pag sa babae naman, lo samahti.
Los simati.
Ang meaning niyan is excuse me or please. Pwedeng 2 meanings yan kasi. Kunwari, nakatalikod ka, gusto kitang tawagin. Lo sumahti.
Kasi babae ako.
Babae ka.
Okay.
Pag lalaki naman, lo
Los
sumaht.
simat.
Para lumingon siya sa akin or may gusto akong sabihin sa kanya or pwede ko rin sabihin sa kanya, lo sumaht, mumkin takhad ha shay. Kunwari, sinasabi ko sa kanya na, can you please take this? Ganun. Yun. Lo sumaht.
Los simat.
Lo sumahti.
Dito talaga kinukuha yung ano nila, guys.
Another greeting is Ahlan Wa Sahlan.
Yun, alam ko yun. Ahlan Wa Sahlan.
Ahlan Wa Sahlan.
Ahlan Wa Sahlan.
Yan. It's like, parang sa Pinas, mabuhay, ganun.
Ahlan Wa Sahlan.
Ahlan Wa Sahlan. Pwedeng ahlan lang, ganun.
Ang alam ko kasi is yung kapag sumasakay po ako ng metro, yung Albuer Butuglak. Na-memorize ko na yun.
Ala, buwabo tuklakol an. The doors are closing.
Yes, doors closing.
Yun, tama.
Yun. Ano pa po?
Meron naman, ma'as salama.
Ma'as salama.
Ma'as salama, that's goodbye.
Okay.
Ma'as salama.
Ma'as salama.
Ma'as salama.
Bye-bye.
Yun.
Ilalikat, ano po ba yun?
Ilalika, pwede rin yun. Another meaning
ilalika, kasi nanonood ako ng mga Arabic movies. Or
Movies.
mga sa mga pambata. Yung anak ko, parati niyang, ilalikat.
Tama. Pwede rin yun. Last is more an Emirati word, I would say, is falik tayyib.
Falik taib.
Falik tayyib.
Falik taib.
Yun. So, you ask me, for example, a favor. I would tell you, falik tayyib. It means, I won't turn you down. But if a male is asking me for a favor or asking something, I would say, falik tayyib. Yung falik at falij.
Falik at saka falij.
Yes.
Napansin ko din po, kapag ka babae, always yung word, mayroong I.
Tama ka, pero...
Parang feminine at saka masculine.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Meron ganun. Tama.
Yeah. Paano naman po yung greetings niyo? Parati yung sinasabi kapag ka... Alam ko, may naririnig ako parating word na...
Shhalak, shakhbarak, salam alaikum.
Yes.
Siyempre.
Yun yung usually.
Salam alaikum is, in any Muslim countries, it's used to greet because it's parang salam alaikum.
Assalamualaikum. And how you address it back?
Wa alaikum assalam.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Actually, the correct term of the greeting is Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wow!
And the
Nakatch ko yun, Kawaians.
And the correct answer to that is Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Ang haba po nun, parang pangalan.
That's why salam alaikum na lang at wa alaikum salam ang
Alright. Paano naman po yung salitang inshallah? Kasi very well-known po yung salitang yan dito eh.
Ang inshallah, usually it's used na pag we don't like to promise people na something. So pag sinabi namin na magkikita ba tayo bukas, sasagutin ko inshallah. Kasi ayoko sabihin na oo, pero you never know what's going to happen. It's all in the hands of Allah.
So it's not yes, it's not a no.
It's in the hands of Allah.
Ah.
If Allah lets it happen, then it will happen. That's why we say inshallah. That's how you actually say the word inshallah.
Inshallah.
Yeah.
Oo, kasi parati po diyan dito mga Kawaians. So magkikita ulit, manood tayo ng sine, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Di ba? Matanong ko po, how many languages you speak?
English, Arabic, Tagalog.
So multilingual. Tatlong salita. Now, dito po kasi sa UAE, kasi may misconception po na kapag sinabi mong Dubai, ang akala ng mga kababayan natin, it's a country. Can you correct that po or give the viewers an idea?
Dubai is one of the 7 Emirates here in UAE. So UAE is United Arab Emirates. And the 7 Emirates united in 1971 because of Sheikh Saeed bin Sultan Al Nahyan. So again, like I said, Dubai is one of the 7 Emirates, but the capital of UAE is actually Abu Dhabi.
Oh, Kawaians, Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, so we have Abu Dhabi, Dubai, Sharjah, Ajman, Ras Al Khaimah, Al Qawain, and Fujairah. So in 1971, Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan, he managed to gather all the 7 Emirates in December 2. That is why there's a UAE National Day here in Dubai on every December 2.
Yeah, holiday po yan dito. Yes. Kung saan makikita niyo yung mga sasakyan, may mga flags,
Yes.
ayan, tapos may ingay.
Exactly.
And parang fiesta.
So next
So, yeah.
year, into 2021, it will be 50 years of UAE's national.
Sobrang excited po ako ngayon mga Kawaians dahil naghanda si Mr. Saeed ng mga Emirati traditional food po ba ito? Which is nasa harap natin ngayon. Kaya, ayan. Mr. Saeed, can you tell us more about sa mga pagkain na nasa harapan natin ngayon?
Sure. So, meron tayong 4 dishes dito. Let's start with the Machbous DI. This is Machbous DI.
Machbous DI.
Yes, DI stands for chicken. Okay, so it's very famous here in UAE, and it's served whether lunch or even dinner sometimes.
Okay. Ano po yung rice niya? May kulay.
Yan yung type ng rice ng Machbous. So, when we say Machbous, that's how the color of the rice becomes.
Okay.
May mix siya ng spices.
So yung kulay ng rice plus the chicken, kaya mas
Machbous.
Machbous DI.
So, pag nakita mo kulay yellow yung rice niya, Machbous siya. Meron naman yung isang type ng rice, yung medyo may mix ng white, yellow, orange, yung madaming mix, yun naman yung parang biryani naman yun.
Alright.
So, next is we have the balalit.
Balalit.
Yeah, the balalit is usually sa breakfast siya kinakain, pero pwede rin siyang kainin sa lunch. It's consists of different types of noodles pero it's also kind of a bit sweet. So pwede rin siyang dessert.
Para siyang
Pansit.
bihon. Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Next is the asida. It's also one of the famous desserts, asida.
Asida.
Asida, yeah.
Asida.
And it's squashed pumpkin.
Ah.
So, and it has sometimes it's mixed with flour and the wheat. Lastly naman is the very famous legumat.
Okay.
Legumat is usually served for dessert, and it goes perfect with Arabic coffee.
So ano po yan? Parang flour lang siya?
Flour din siya, and it's fried. So ang perfect legumat is crispy from the outside and then soft in the inside.
Oh,
So when you bite it, it has to be crispy. You have to,
Crunch, may crunch siya, ganun.
crunch,
Alright.
exactly, yeah.
So, tikman na po natin. Ayan, let's start. Kung ano po ba yung mga lasa ng mga food na ito. Thank you. Now, let's start with
The main course.
the main course.
Machbous. Siyempre, sa mga Emirati, we like eating with our hands.
Yes,
So,
yes. Napansin ko nga po
mahilig
yan.
kami magkamay. Pero, syempre, sa mga restaurants, to be more civilized, gumagamit din kami ng...
Napaka ano ng chicken, guys. Tawag dito?
lambot.
Lambot, yes. Ang lambot niya. Nakikita ko. Let me try the rice. Yung rice
I'll
po
give
ba
it-
yan spicy?
Medyo siya spicy. You can have this.
Thank you.
Medyo spicy siya. But not so spicy. Meron din siyang little bit of spices.
Excited na ako. Yung mga Pinoy, mahilig sa tikiman yan. Ayan, titikman na natin. Ang lasa nitong. Start with the chicken.
Tatry ko rin.
Yung spices niya po, nagpapalasa talaga sa niya. Kahit na white part, masarap siya. Now, let's try the rice. Meron din pala siyang mga ingredients. Ang dami niya ingredients.
Madami ingredients ng matchboos.
Yes.
So, kailangan minsan ingatan mo yung mga susubuhin mo kasi baka makagat mo yung...
May mga kahoy-kahoy.
Oo.
So, I thought na matamis yung rice. Kasi, wala lang.
Kasi dahil sa
Naisipan
kulay
ko lang.
siguro.
Akala ko lang. Pero, yung mga spices na lalasahan ko, ito meron siyang, medyo may pagka-asim siya na may pagka-salty, ganun yung lasa niya. Pero masarap siya kasi nagko-complement siya. Especially with the chicken. Masarap. Lambot pa.
Try naman natin itong balalit.
Balalit para sa breakfast. Yung breakfast
Yes, this
food
is
niyo.
breakfast. Usually, may kasama yan scrambled egg, actually. So, while eating that, isasabay mo yung egg.
Oh, nice. Let's try this one, Kawaians. Sabi nila matamis daw to, and it's for breakfast.
Yep.
So, para sa energy. Yeah. Tamis nga.
May malalasahan mo rin yung saffron.
Correct. Matamis nga siya. Para siyang bihon na matamis. Bihon siya na matamis, Kawaians.
Next, we have the asida.
Asida.
This type of asida, may mga different type siya. So, itong type is pumpkin squashed, and it has a mix of flour and wheat.
Yeah.
So, this is also known for dessert.
Okay, so dessert na tayo.
Yung dessert na to.
From the main course, breakfast, dessert.
Lagyan natin
Yan.
ng
Pistachio. Mahilig po kayo sa mga pistachio, ano? Dito. Yeah, yung mga baklava po ba is Emirati food din yun?
Baklava is Turkish.
Ah, alright.
Baklava
So marami
is,
ding pistachio yun.
originally Turkish, yeah.
Let's try this one. Masarap. Masarap
Sarap,
siya.
diba?
Yeah.
Parang baby food na.
Oo. Nice. With the pistachio, nagko-complement siya. Ang sarap niya.
Next.
Nice. Lokamat.
Yes.
Lokamat,
The
oh.
famous legemat.
Legimat.
Legemat.
Ganun po yung
Yes.
pronounce nun.
Ang meaning ng legemat or lukmat is small portions or small, paano sabihin yun? Yes.
Kasi maliit.
Oo, exactly.
Parang siyang fishball.
Para.
Tingnan.
Pero ano siya, flour.
Oh,
So,
okay.
deep fried flour, and it's usually may honey syrup or date syrup sa ibabaw with a little bit of sesame seed.
Sesame, oh.
Perfect yan with Arabic coffee.
So yan po yung pang-partner. Hindi po siya, dessert po ba yan?
Dessert to.
Dessert siya.
Yes.
At saka ka-partner niya
Usually
coffee.
famous or mostly lumalabas itong lugimat sa Ramadan.
True.
Sige, go ahead.
Let's try this. So sabi nga ni Mr. Saeed, ito ay flour.
Flour.
Flour. Yeah, flour.
More like bread, no?
Yes.
Na matamis.
Yes. Ayun, ang sarap. Ang sarap. Nagustuhan ko siya. Lalo na yung favorite ko na yon. Bibili ako niyan ulit. Ang sarap niya, promise. Pumpkin squash. Ayan. So, meron po kaming hinanda para sa inyo naman. Alam naming paborito nyo ang kare-kare.
Yes.
Kare-kare with bagoong. Ayun. So, naghanda po tayo, Kawaians, ng sorpresa para kay Mr. Saeed. Papatikpan natin sa kanya ang kare-kare. Famous kare-kare ng Pilipinas. Ayun.
Siyempre dapat may bagoong kasi hindi pwedeng kumain ng kare-kare walang bagoong.
Correct. Yun ang pampalasa. So, ito po. Ayan, this is for you. And this one.
Thank you.
Araw-araw nating ulam itong ganito, no? Sa Pilipinas, gustong-gusto nila yung mga ulam na kare-kare, gusto-gusto nila yung mga minudo. Pero pagdating mo dito sa Dubai, lalo kung Pinoy ka, ang hahanapin nyo guys, sardinas, hahanapin nyo yung tinapa, hahanapin nyo yung, sa amin sa Bisaya, bulag tawag namin dun eh, yung parang dried fish.
Yes.
Ayun, yeah. Pero yeah, sa Pilipinas kasi, ito yung mga talagang staple food natin dun eh. Pero pagdating dito, mga gusto natin yung mga simple food.
Correct.
So,
Una na
alam
ako.
ko. Sige po, tikman nyo na.
Medyo matagal-tagal na rin
I
ako
want you to taste it
nakakain,
actually.
Sige.
Ayan.
Mm.
Masarap po talaga kapag kare-kare, no?
Hindi na ako makakatigil. I feel like naubos ko yung buong plato eh.
Sige, okay lang po yan. While you're eating po, can I ask you some questions?
Sure.
Ano yung kaibahan? Filipino food and Emirati food?
Yung kaibahan siguro. I wouldn't say there's a lot of differences. Siguro similarities.
Yeah, similarities,
A lot of the mga pagkain dapat may rice.
Yeah.
Mahilig siyempre sa mga Pinoy sa rice. Main course ng mga Arabo dapat din, or mga Emirati is dapat may rice
May
din.
rice.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, I wouldn't say there's hindi ako makaisip masyado mga kaibahan eh. More like similarities.
Similarities. Especially, nga, kasi ito, sinasabi ko nga po, na-compare ko nga
Kasi
po
hindi
sa
ko naman pwedeng sabihin na ang Emirati food is medyo spicy sa Filipino food. Kasi meron din tayong mga province na maanghang ang kinakain, di ba?
Yeah, like Bicol.
Yes. Bicol Express. Yun.
Correct. What makes you proud as a Filipino?
Siguro yung pagiging maalaga, masipag, matyaga. Alam natin yung mga qualities na yan, nasa Pinoy yan. Tapos, Filipinos have a different way of looking at the problems. So, kahit na malaki ng problema nila, they still have a way to make things, funny or happy, kahit na, sobra na.
Resilience. Yes.
Exactly.
True. Yun po talagang hinahanap. Actually, tamang term doon, hinahangaan. Yes, sa mga Pinoy. Is yung pagiging resilient natin. Kasi despite the baha, despite the lindol,
nakakapaggawa pa rin tayo ng mga jokes.
Yes. Yun. Tapos yung iba pa yun sa baha, di ba? Sumasakay pa sila ng mga batya. Tapos nagtatawanan. Yun talaga yung nakakatuwa.
That's one of the things that I'm really proud of being half Filipino.
Alright. Let's wrap it up. Ayan, nag-enjoy ako sa food. Nag-enjoy ako sa different cultures na nalaman ko. Yung mga pagkakatulad ng Filipino at Emirati na cultures and traditions. Ayan. So, maraming salamat sa pagpapa-unlock sa amin ngayon.
Maraming salamat sa pag-imbita.
Yeah, yun. At bago ang lahat, mag-iiwan po si Mr. Saeed ng quote of the day. Siya po yung mag-iiwan.
Mga Kawaians, explain ko muna ang quote of the day. The arriving ones are more than the departing ones. Yun ang literal translation. But also, the other meaning is encouraging people to lift their spirits and seize the opportunity. Mitch?
Elyayat, akad, minasirat. Kawai-kawai mga Kawaians! See you again on our next season! Bye-bye! Have a good day! Bye-bye!